Alright lads, Oleksandr Usyk, as of today, as of the minute I'm recording this, he is now out of contract with Eddie Hearn and Matchroom. Now, this does not remotely surprise me. I think I actually alluded to the fact in several videos, I think before and I think just after his fight with Derek Chisora. Now, I didn't know necessarily if he was out of contract per se, but I said I had a feeling that his Matchroom deal was expired. Because normally with Eddie Hearn, the vast majority of fighters, when he signs them to a deal with his own Matchroom, etc., it's normally either on a fight-by-fight basis, or it could potentially be a 3-fight deal. Very seldom do we hear fighters sign, 2 or 3 year deals with Matchroom or Eddie Hearn. Daniel Dubois obviously signed a 5-year deal with Frank Warren, which is not a good move. That is, I don't think I've ever, maybe there have been, maybe AJ, but very seldom do you hear fighters sign long-term deals with Eddie Hearn. So I wasn't aware that it was a 3-fight deal, but I suspected it was. And if you think of it like this, 3-fight deal. Fight deal starts at Bellew, because that was Eddie Hearn Matchroom. Starts at Bellew, Shez Witherspoon, ends with Chisora. Now, Eddie Hearn will still be working with Usyk if, and it's an if he fights AJ next. That will be under a Matchroom deal, as far as I'm aware. But as far as I'm aware, Oleksandr Usyk, he is still with, I don't know if it's K2, because I know that was who he originally turned pro with, K2 Klitschko Promotions. I know Vitaly Klitschko was looking after him for a brief period of time. I know Vitaly was ringside, I believe, at the Glowacki fight when he won his first world title. I know Usyk is working a lot with that. I think it's Ignas Klimas is the guy's name. I think he's German, or I could be wrong, but I know the guy. The guy is very kind of, straight up, that's the kind of guy. But he's always with Usyk, always seemingly with Usyk. And for me, it was always apparent there was an issue between Team Usyk, or not necessarily Team Usyk. There was always an issue between I don't want to say K2, because I'm not 100% sure if he's still with K2, but there was always an issue between the management side of Usyk with Klimas and Eddie Hearn. Because Eddie Hearn would always be saying, like, even if you go back as far back as January of last year, 2020, you had Eddie Hearn saying that, oh yeah, Usyk next, he's going to be fighting Derek Chisora. And you had his management team of Klimas saying, no, we're not. No, we're doing this. So there was always seemingly kind of, Eddie Hearn wanting to go this way, Team Usyk wanting to go this way. It was kind of a bit all over the shop. And as far back as I think May 2019, I'd heard rumours. At the time they were rumours, and apparently they probably were, but it was that Usyk was looking to break out of that deal with Eddie Hearn in order to sign with top-ranked Bob Arum. Now I know that even prior to joining Eddie Hearn, I think even prior to the World Boxing Super Series, Oleksandr Usyk, he wasn't promoted by Bob Arum, but I know he fought at least one Bob Arum undercard, and it was a Lomachenko undercard when Lomachenko fought Jason Sosa. That was actually the night he fought Michael Hunter. It was, I think, February or March in 2017. So I know Usyk's fought on top-ranked cards before. He is mandatory with the WBO, so it would seem logical that if Bob Arum wants to, add a bit of extra sway with the WBO, it would, from a logical point of view, it makes sense that he would be with Bob Arum. Obviously, I know someone in a live chat that I was doing just before I started recording this said that they thought it would make more sense for Usyk to sign with Frank Warren. I wouldn't be advising many fighters to sign with Frank Warren at this stage, truth be told. Yes, he's got a good relationship with the WBO as well, but Bob Arum seems to have a good one as well, to be honest with you. And I think that because Bob Arum has had fighters work with Matchroom, so say for argument's sake, look, Usyk has said that he'd be willing to, well, no, he hasn't stated it, but he's alluded to the fact that he'd be willing to take step-aside money. Whether he does or not remains to be seen. If he doesn't, and AJ, because AJ's probably going to vacate that title, Eddie Hearn is saying AJ versus Fury is 90% done. They want to get that fight made. He'll throw that WBO title away if needs be, because the fight's big enough, it doesn't need undisputed. It'd be nice to have, but doesn't need it. So you would imagine that Usyk, if he was going to someone like Bob Arum, they'd be like, right, this is what we're going to do. We're going to get our shot at the WBO title. They'd probably end up doing it with, I would imagine, Joe Joyce. And I know Frank Warren, Bob Arum, decent relationship. A lot of fighters have fought on each other's cards. A lot of the fighters are co-promoted. Like Mike Conlon's basically co-promoted by Frank Warren, Fury, I think Frampton as well. So you would imagine if Usyk would probably be looking to go. I would imagine anyway. He's probably saying, we've worked with Bob before. Seems to have an okay relationship with him. They'd be looking to go there again. Then maybe it might be different given the fact that his, you know, best friend Vasily Lomachenko. I don't necessarily know if Lomachenko was upset at Bob Arum necessarily, but he's definitely been upset about the scoring of the fight, you know, hinted at corruption with scoring the Teofimo Lopez fight. Maybe Usyk would look at that and think, maybe I won't. Or maybe he'll just stick on the side with Klimas, I think the guy's name is. Maybe he'll just stick with that side. But, interesting one. Not really surprised, and to be honest with you, I really did see this happening a bit sooner, because easily since May 2019 I've been making videos, not constantly, but I've always any video I've done about Usyk when it's been involving Matchroom and it's been kind of back and forth, I've always said that I reckon Usyk won't be long for Matchroom, and that I think that he will, if not now, go a separate way eventually. I just couldn't see it. I just couldn't see that relationship lasting. It just seemed like there was one side was saying one was saying the other, and they just seemed to clash in the middle. So I could never see that lasting. In terms of Usyk AJ, I really can't see that. I suspect Usyk will fight for a vacant title. Whoever wins, I mean, like, look at it like this, right? If Tyson Fury and AJ fight and Fury wins, Bob Arum co-promote it. You know, co-promotes Tyson Fury, easy to make undisputed. Easy to make undisputed. If AJ wins, likewise, I know Bob Arum and Eddie Hearn can be a bit frosty, but they've done business together plenty of times, you know. So I really, just from my point of view, from what I've seen, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't sign Bob Arum. If he signs someone like PBC, Al Heyman, I'd be like, huh? The hell? Same with if he signed with De La Hoya, I'd be just like, all right, okay, but it wouldn't make as much sense to me as if he did with Bob Arum. So yeah, bit of news for you there. Usyk now no longer with Matchroom, out of contract. Not exactly surprised, I have to say, but we'll see what this goes. Watch this space. I'm dying to see what happens with Usyk and this WBO title. Will he take step aside money, or will he dig his heels and say, nah man, I want my shot, right? Step aside money is free money, you know, it's free money, and you can probably still have an interim fight in the meantime. So for me, it would be a no-brainer. And I think of it like this, right? Step aside money is free money. You could probably take an interim fight, and then you're going to get the winner of AJ Fury. I mean, like, your bank balance will be thanking you all the way until, you know, you're an old man. You know, your bank account will be absolutely singing your praises. So I'm gonna leave it there. Lads, let me know your thoughts. Hope you all enjoyed the video. If you did, smash the like button. Thank you all for dropping by. Thank you. I really appreciate you all dropping by channel, having a listen to your boy. Hope you all liked it. Hashtag GMansRocks. As always, people, lads, I'll talk to you. Peace.